the laws of science.
Yeah, they're the best boy group at the moment in the world, I think.
Well, no, hands down.
I think they're the best boy group at the moment in the world.
There has to be. Like, wow.
I think, and I'm probably
speechless.
And I think they're actually the best just idol group in the world at the moment.
I think this is the best idol group concert experience that I have seen this year. In terms of like production, choreography, freaking sound,
and people
performing, the engineering was insane.
And people doubt that the Philippines can make productions like this.
I do not doubt
but
it any longer.
There was perhaps a time in which it didn't. You know, if you talk, we speak a lot to Filipino fans and people that go to these concerts and from the industry and outside the industry, and people always say that like there is a lack of funding, there is
a lack of faith in the project.
Lack of faith in the project. The companies sometimes are not innovative enough. Usually,
they do what's safe because they know it sells. However,
correct.
They have push the boundaries to a brand new standard here, something that nobody else is doing worldwide.
And it's funny because in order to get to this point, I mean, you all know the challenges that SB19 had to go through, both from the beginning up until now. If you see the enthusiasm in all the boys' sort of eyes, or just in their own personal careers, and then as a joint project, they could have really quit about a year and a half ago if they really wanted to. Just post pack the tag, that world tour. If that was it, that was it. You know, things would have happened, lawsuits would have been lost, things would have, that if you don't want to explore how to do this, perhaps after the solo projects, things could have been done. And it would have been what a great career.
Yes, correct.
But I think it's because they're so enthusiastic. They're really so keen on wanting to do things differently and really wanting to show not only to the Philippines, first to the Philippines, that like you can get to this level and you can be one of the best in the world at something when it comes to music, beating the US, beating the Koreas, beating the UKs, beating the South Americas, the Latin groups, I guess. So it's really amazing to see that they have actually managed to get to that point. We still haven't seen them to get to that point at a world tour level. At a Philippines level, this makes sense. We also saw Beanie. What they do in the Philippines is a lot more special than what they do abroad.
Yes.
But
and it's expected. I mean, it is expected.
It's the way it should go for the time being. When you perform at home, it should be the best fucking show you have in the world, because these are the people that will follow you all across the world. These are your local fans. These are your fans, and local fans should go first. Now, interestingly enough, the reason why I think they might be the best live idol group in the world, they actually don't have a split. I do want to go to other aspects of it, because perhaps there are better dancers, perhaps there are people that are at the same level as them dance-wise.
No, but
they do.
Go ahead.
They do have to make sacrifices in their dance. You can tell it in the first three numbers. In the numbers that they should be the best, the freshest, which they are. When you are an actual singer, when you're actually singing, you can't do the backflips. You can't do everything is core based. Everything is body rolls. Everything is get up, get down, go to the left, go to the right, and not have a vocal split. This is the reality of performing. But they have done something that I thought was the objective, which is, you can do a 2-hour show where you dance and you sing. First, you have to be in incredible shape, and you're seeing them be in incredible shape. But number two, you let the stage building, the stage design, the live band, and the dancers do their job. You do yours. Correct. And you learn how to mark in a professional way in which is not lazy. It's not you being lazy. And it can never, if you do it the right way, it can never be misunderstood by a random Joe as, oh, that girl or that guy's not trying. That looks a bit lazy to me. But it's like, well, they're fucking singing, so they're not going to go 100%. That shouldn't be an excuse. By everyone's eyes, it should be seen as, this guy is fucking dancing and he's got swagger to him and it looks cool. But in reality, he's actually being so economical, because he's singing some high notes. And by the way, I saw people say this in other comments of other, I think it was the previous concert review we just did, which is like, sometimes Waleska and Efra don't understand the technical ability or the notes that this guy's hitting. No. We understand it better than probably most people in this whole interweb thing. I'm just fucking gonna say how it is now. But that should not be an excuse for the compromises you make for something else. If you're gonna compromise the dance...
Yeah, it cannot be translated into, they looked like they were marking.
And if you compromise the singing and you put some fucking split, we're gonna call it out, because it doesn't matter if you hit a B5 in the highest octave but your dance looked like garbage. It doesn't matter. And you had a split. you're not gonna get the same type of praise that someone who didn't do it like that is going to get. Because then what's a 10 out of 10? You don't know.
And this is particularly special though, because you're not only seeing performers that are leaving their hearts on stage, which is one of the most satisfying aspects of this whole experience. You cannot, if you're paying money to watch a show, this is what you want. You want the theatrics.
100%.
You want the acrobatics. You want the lights, the shows, the fire. You want it all. That's why you go to the concerts. However, a lot of the times, the artist gets lost in the sauce, and they cannot deliver what the shows require. However, though, that's always at the back of my mind whenever I go to see a show, whenever I go to see a concert. It's always at the back of my mind. It's a very high standard. My mind always has a meter, like how close did they get to that meter, to that high standard where everybody sings, everybody dances, everybody's given the same sort of energy. There's not a member that's outshining the other. There is no disparity in vocal balances, or whether they're using a split track or not.
It doesn't feel like there's preferential treatment because for your strongest or weakest members.
There is not a preferential treatment either towards the band, or the neglect towards the dancers. It seems like all of these things have to be quite high. All of these things have to go right for me to say, oh, that show was absolute.
Yeah, so far, bro. What the hell? Those 15 minutes?
That opening, they did it.
That's insane.
They delivered theatrics. They delivered the shebang. They delivered the fireworks and the big opening moments. They deliver freaking vocals with no help. An insane capability to dance and perform at the same time. This is outstanding.
This is what a 10 out of 10 looks like. I think also it represents sort of why I think that if you get the right people from the Philippines to do things correctly, they do also have that working mentality of like, well, it's all in or it's fucking nothing.
Yeah, I feel like they have achieved excellence.
Yeah. Why do you think people leave to like work and like they leave their, you know, they leave families and stuff? It's because like they're like all in, you know. That's I thought that, you know, and everyone's always told us that is the Filipino mentality. That's what it represents. If you look at it from like a musical perspective, all in or fucking nothing. Yes. And I'm pretty sure the boys were very much like with Paolo and everyone else. They were like, bro, we do it this way and we don't cut any corners. Correct. Even, and obviously they did the whole museum thing as well. They've done a lot of things because apparently the experience as well was like unbelievable. They had like some karaoke shit.
They had some VR
VR stuff. Yeah. Then they had the museum, which people went to after, like Casual Chuck, where he went after the Konze, he went to fucking stream it. Big up him. And then it's like all in or fucking nothing.
And I love that. I love that because there you can see the compromise in every single one of them. There is not a single member in SB19 and the team, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the people that sweep the floors on that stage, the people that brought up the coffees and took care of this transport and just catering. Listen, everybody in this team was so compromised. Like they had a real compromise to this, and you can really see it. This is very special.
I want to go now sort of middle of the, obviously this we're looking at mostly second day stuff because it's the most recent stuff, and also there is the thing of first day. Obviously, if you went, fantastic. But first day, things can go wrong.
First day is always like, we're shaking off the nerves.
So I want to see them at their best, you know, second day. But also there's the aspect of a tiny bit of fatigue. Because doing 2 shows of this magnitude back to back is kind of rough. So let's go to sort of middle of the day.
Wow.
I love the fact